Hi, it's Marlene Macaw. I want to talk today about my apartment manager because I think that she's in the wrong for something, and I'm not a complainer, although I think I could write a nice letter with a great argument if I wanted to. Let me explain what happened to me. Okay, so a month ago, my car got broken into in the garage. It's not a fancy car, but it's a brand new car. But it was obvious that there would be a navigational in the car because the whole setup for the navigational was in there. Yes, of course I should take my navigational up every day, and you should never leave valuables in your car. That's a given. But on this particular night, I was leaving for San Diego the next morning, and I had a lot of stuff in my car. Like, I don't know, like I was supposed to leave that night, and I decided to come down in the morning, like 4 hours later. So I thought I'd just leave the stuff in the car, and I took up my suitcase and some other things, but I left the suitcase in the car. So anyway, my car gets broken into, and my laptop and my navigational and everything gets stolen. Plus, they also tried to break the window before without kind of like breaking the glass. And stupid me, my spare car keys were in the car because I had guests over and they were borrowing the keys and left them in the compartment in the middle. So at like 6 a.m. I go to get my car and it's not there, and it's parked in a different parking spot. And sure enough, the glass was broken into, my keys were stolen, the navigational, the laptop, and everything. All right. So I feel stupid, but I go up and I tell the manager, look, my car was broken into in our garage parking lot, and, so, basically what I need is for you to be aware of this. And the manager says to me, oh, my car was broken into when I first moved in about a month ago, but, yeah, my radio was stolen. And I'm like, why didn't you tell anyone? And she's like, oh, I thought the residents hated me. And I thought, well, if you would have said something, I never would have left valuables in my car. And she said, well, you should know to not leave valuables in your car. Yes, I should know. So should everyone else, right? But there are things like iPods and this and that. When you've been in an apartment complex for a year and you leave your iPod or something in the car, or your navigational that is removable, things that are removable that belong to a car, we are all smart enough to know we should remove them, but we make mistakes. My only point is that had she mentioned something, the thought would have been in my mind, oh, I can definitely not leave this here. She's not to blame, but I just think it was inconsiderate. So I spoke to some of the other neighbors who also got their cars broken into because, okay, my bird just jumped up there and he's going to sit next to the camera, so if he tries to chew it, we might have some difficulties. But I thought it was my duty to tell all the neighbors, my car got broken into. I just want to let you know. Gypsy, get your mouth out of there. I just want to let you know that my car got broken into, so keep your valuables out of your car. Yes, it's a given. Again, you shouldn't have valuables in the car, but in the event that somebody did or somebody does, you get comfortable. It's a close parking lot with a gate. I wanted to let them know. And then I find out that the week before, a car had been broken into, and she didn't tell anybody in our garage, and all the girls' stuff got stolen. So my point is that everyone leaves stuff in the car. Everyone makes mistakes. The one day I left stuff in the car, which, by the way, I think our neighbors are watching us. I mean, we all do. These one neighbors that have, like, a lot of parties and stuff. So, yeah. And then the day that my car got broken into, so did my neighbor's car got broken into, and no one bothered to look around the parking lot to see or alert the guy, so he had to go to a concert, and he couldn't go because his car was broken into, and I at least got my whole thing fixed by like 10 in the morning, but he couldn't because no one told him, and the manager didn't do her duty. So I feel completely unsafe. Anyway, here's where it gets complicated. Gypsy, get off my head. Alright, well, where it gets complicated is that when I went to discuss this with one of the neighbors, she told me that this manager said it was none of our business that cars get broken into. Like, so even though the girl's car got broken into 3 days before mine and I could have prevented all my stuff from being stolen, it was none of my business to know. And I live in the building, and it's a very small building. So I just think that I would like some comments on that, actually, to see, you know, what the proper procedure for this would be. I'm not saying anyone's responsible for my valuables. I'm just saying that, you know, she was even uncomfortable afterwards when I went around telling the neighbors, you know, I just want to let you know my car got broken into, you know, my stuff's already gone. I don't make a lot of money. I lost, you know, a good amount of stuff. So maybe I could save somebody else's stuff. It's about that 1 second when you have the thought, oh, stuff gets broken into here. It's about knowing that there's a possibility and thinking that there is no possibility. Of course, there's always a possibility. You should never leave valuables in your car, according to the manager. But if at that 1 second I had thought to myself, oh, 3 days ago so-and-so's car got broken into, you know, quite possibly I would have made the same mistake, or all my stuff would have been saved. And that's what's important here, letting others know. I think it's bad responsibility on the manager's part. I don't understand what she's thinking. So one of my neighbors actually wrote a note and posted it all over the apartment complex saying, do not leave valuables in the car. 3 cars have gotten broken into. And the manager removed the notes because she said they won't be able to rent out the available apartment, which I agree. Business is business. But then let us tell people what's going on so they know where they're living, you know? That's it for today.